very much. And thank you for joining us in your homes. Before we start the dancing, though, let's have a few words from the quartet.
We'll be back with the music in a moment or two. In the meantime, here's a message for you.
Someone once said that the tunes that are best to dance to are the tunes that are well known. Well, this next song is certainly well known, and I hope you like it. It's our instrumental arrangement of You Were Meant for Me. As you've probably noticed, Bill Flanagan is quite a busy person. He does vocal choruses, plays a brass instrument called euphonium, and we also feature him on guitar. But here's where we feature his vocal ability, and it's the very beautiful ballad called Tenderly.
The trees tenderly, the trembling trees embrace the breeze tenderly. Then you and I came wandering by, and lost in a sigh were we. The shore was kissed by sea and mist tenderly. I can't forget how two hearts met breathlessly. Your arms opened wide and closed me inside. You took my lips, you took my love so tenderly.
And now it's twin piano time. And of course that means that we feature Buddy Brennan and Fred Kreitzer. This number they're going to play is somewhat of a classic. Here's their arrangement of Barcarolle. You know, we're very proud of the fact that so many people spend their birthdays with us, their anniversaries with us, and their engagement parties with us. And of course, we're doubly happy when newlyweds pay us a visit. Well, we have a charming couple with us this evening, Mr. and Mrs. Chapman. And they've only been married 3 days. I think it's only appropriate that Kenny Gardner sing a song for them, and it's Marry the One You Love.
Marry the one you love. Silver and gold have practical charms, but you can't hold them tight in your arms. When you marry the one you love, you can build dreams as high as the sky, fabulous dreams no money can buy, for you will possess in each caress all you've been dreaming of. If your heart compels you, then do what it tells you and marry the one you love.
be back with the music in a moment or two. In the meantime, here's a message for you.
She's sweet, see her coming down the street, and I'll ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? Ain't she nice? Look her over once or twice, and I ask you very confidentially, ain't she nice? Just cast an eye in her direction, oh me, oh my, ain't that perfection? I repeat, don't you think that's kinda neat? And I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet?
Now, wasn't that a fine vocal chorus? That was done by Cliff Grass. You know, Cliff is quite a versatile fellow. He plays a fine sax, and he plays the clarinet. But now we're going to play something that's just not quite as sweet as Ain't She Sweet. It's a jazz classic of all time, St. Louis Blues. And of course, I'm going to help the boys do the vocal chorus. And then I'm going to visit our guest table and visit Miss Betty Jane Watson. But here is St. Louis Blues. Well, Betty Jane, that was St. Louis Blues played just for you.
Oh, you couldn't have played it for anybody who appreciates it more. I love that song. But one thing I want to ask you, Guy. How long does Carmen hold that note?
Does it seem a long time?
Uh-huh.
Well, tell me, a minute, 2 minutes left.
Oh, I'd say a minute and a half or two.
Well, it's only 30 seconds.
Oh, gee. I'm going to practice that when I get home. That's a good exercise.
Well, it's a lot of fun.
I
Betty, what are you doing out tonight? Aren't you rehearsing for a new show, or...
Well, I thought I had a night off, and I couldn't think of any place better to go than to come and dance at your music.
Well, that's nice of you to say that.
Oh, I love it.
You are going into a new show, though, aren't you?
Well, I don't have anything planned yet, but you never know what's going to come up with TV and everything.
Of all the shows you've done, which one did you like best?
Oh, I think Oklahoma and Texas Little Darling, but there's a funny story about that. I was in both shows, and until about 6 months ago, I hadn't been in either state.
Neither Oklahoma nor Texas?
But I finally got down there, and it was wonderful.
Isn't it a wonderful state?
It sure is.
Betty, where were you born?
I was born in Bloomington, Illinois, and raised in Rockford and Chicago, where you come from.
Well, we got our start there, you know.
Oh, I did, too.
The boys are waiting and very anxious to have you sing a song. How about doing one of your tunes?
Oh, I'd love to. What one would you like to have?
Well, they like the way you do Too Young, and I'd like to hear that, too.
Well, I think that's one of my favorites, and I'd love to do it.
All right. Let's do it, huh?
All right.
Folks, did you see that little girl I was sitting with over there? Well, you know what I just found out? Although she was featured in the musical Texas Little Darling, she's never been to Texas. But in spite of that, she's certainly a wonderful singer and a wonderful little girl. And here she is, Betty Jane Watson.
They try to tell us we're too young.
And now it's time for your Lombardo medley, made up entirely of your requests. We feature the saxes in the first number, My Happiness. In the second number, we feature my brother Liebert on trumpet doing The Objects of My Affections. And the third number, we feature the entire ensemble doing Deep Purple. thanks to you here and to you at home for being with us. We hope we've played some of your favorite tunes. So on behalf of all the boys in the band, so long for now. You know, not so many years ago, about the only people who played the harmonica were very small boys. And a harmonica was just another toy. But in the last few years, the harmonica has become a recognized musical instrument. And even concert audiences have been amazed at the music it can produce. Of course, it takes a real artist to turn a child's toy into a musical instrument. And as a special surprise, we're going to present a real artist, a real harmonica virtuoso right now. His name is Stan Fisher. And if there are any other harmonica players listening, I'll bet they'll feel like throwing away their instruments when they've heard Stan. We're certainly proud to be able to present Stan Fisher playing his own arrangement of Hungarian Rhapsody.